Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right into this one. Yep, Beamer-gate. Beamer and Brett go at it. Who's wrong and who's right? It was a big battle and a great ball game, honestly. I enjoyed the crap out of it. South Carolina's fun to watch, especially with Lenore Sellers. You never know what he's going to do. The dude can take off and run. They kept him pretty isolated and in the pocket for the most part, which is not easy to do. The guy's got some getaway sticks you can't believe. But we had some controversy in the game because Beamer likes to pull out a lot of little party tricks, and I don't think Brett appreciated that very much. And he let Coach Beamer know all about it. This had to do with the kickoff, and they'll explain it here, and you'll understand a little bit better if you didn't see it. Most of y'all, I'm sure, have seen it or read about it.
I think his issue was when we threw the throwback kickoff return. Our kickoff returner did this, which most teams, that's a signal that it's a touchback and we're not going to return the kick. You're allowed to do that as long as you don't do a waving motion. It's no different than on a punt. If the punt returner comes pointing to the ball that's bouncing on the ground, he's allowed to return it. If you're doing this, you're not allowed to return it. There was no waving of the arms, and I cleared it with the Big 12 officials before the game. I told them we were going to do it, making sure they were good with it. And they said, yeah, just as long as he doesn't wave the arms. So I think he had an issue with that. You have to ask him why he didn't take it up with the officials and why he felt the need to come over here while his player was on the ground and look at me and say something to me and do that motion at me like I was full of you-know-what to do it. That's what I have an issue with. And when somebody, I'm a competitive guy, when somebody says that to me, I'm going to respond because I thought that was Bush League, just to be completely honest.
Okay, that's one side of the story, and he's calling it Bush League. Now, you're getting ready to hear from the other coach. I think he thought what Beamer did was very much Bush League. Let's listen to his argument.
The only thing that I did was there's a unwritten philosophy in coaching that when you do this as a college kickoff return guy, what you're doing is you're telling everybody else that it's going to be a fair catch and it's going to be dead in the end zone when the ball lands. The reason we do that, and I first got aware of it was in the NFL, was kickoff and kickoff return is the highest percentage of injury in the sport. So one of the things that coaches began to do was everybody out of respect started T-barring. I think these guys would tell you everybody does that. I've never seen it any other way. It's not an official. There's nothing illegal. They didn't do anything illegal. But it put us, I think, in a position that we now, the ethic of what that is, got evaporated there, though, because our kids stop. So when you're a kickoff return unit, right, if I'm running at you and the kickoff returner back there, the guy blocking me, he doesn't know what's going on, so he's going to begin to engage you. And when you see somebody do that before the whistles are blown, you can stop, decelerate, and you don't have these massive collisions.
All right, so the reason he got ticked off is pretty obvious. When a guy does this, everybody pretty much slows down and stops, and they're doing it for player protection so that they don't fly down through there and knock the crap out of somebody and get them hurt. And it's really to protect both sides. Well, Shane, being kind of sneaky like he is, loves to trick people. So he said, oh, we'll pretend like we're not going to run it back. They'll slow down because of ethics, and then we'll trick them, throw it back, and see if we can run a touchdown because they've all slowed down and, you know, they're like taking it easy, and that's a good way to trick somebody. The problem with that is now everybody else is going to wonder, oh, crap, am I being tricked by somebody doing this? Normally I'd slow down, but I better continue on. That's going to get somebody hurt, and it's going to lead to penalties and everything else. So it's just one of those things that everybody knows when you do that, it's over. And Shane is a trickster. He likes to walk right up to that line, maybe put his toe across it, and kind of live in that gray area. That's his thing. And we know that he has a history of that type of stuff. For example, he got fined $25,000 over leaked information. We know about that. That's skirting the line. That's living in the gray area and getting caught. And of course, we talked quite a bit about the whole Connor Stallions thing, and that a person with direct knowledge said that Michigan may very well have attempted to assist in opposition of a potential college football playoff opponent in an effort to disrupt that team's potential path to the playoff. according to Football Scoop.
Allegedly.
So it shouldn't surprise you. It's just additional information that you can put into your computer bank and go, I wonder if he'd maybe look the other way. I'm not saying that he got the information himself. I'm just saying, would he look the other way? It's a little suspect, isn't it? Not quite as squeaky clean as you might think. He just kind of living in that little gray area. And man, he flipped out. When dude went over there and did that to him, he lost it. As a matter of fact, I've got a little video clip of it.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull. You with the wrong Marine.
Yeah, he didn't handle it very well. He got very angry, as you can imagine. So anyway, I did want to cover this. Thought it was pretty interesting. And I enjoyed the crap out of the game. And I like the fact that the two coaches got heated. That reminded me of like the 70s and 80s when people weren't all so polite and coaches would get angry. It was a fun game. It really was. And really, it's all anybody talked about all day was that big commotion between those two guys. And it was good to have a really tight game like that. South Carolina's going to be a fun team to watch next year. They just are. I know a lot of the Carolina fans are mad at me because I've given them some grief. But look, I did y'all a huge favor. I alerted you that Lenoris could be going into the portal. You got your money together, got him signed to an NIL deal. I never got a thank you. Of course not. No good deed goes unpunished. Tried to help him. What do you get? Anyway, thought I would cover this. Very fun and interesting story. Nobody got hurt, thank goodness. And they'll probably have to change that rule. They'll probably have to say if you do that, because you can't risk it now. Shane has opened up Pandora's box and somebody's going to get hurt. So I think they should call it the Shane Beamer rule. And maybe that's something that we could do. And really, they need to have a Connor Stalions rule when it comes to signs stealing and all that kind of stuff. And they can have a Shane Beamer rule when it comes to this.
Sure, Jan.
And that way, if you start naming them, maybe they'll quit that crap. Who knows? Anyway, thought I would just cover this. If you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's me know. Continue to cover all these big college sports stories. If you've not subscribed, hit this little button right over here. Won't cost you a dime. Help you get my videos. And right over here is the most recent video YouTube. Thanks, you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.
Roadhouse.